waking up, lost your way, don't get attached to the current spits, no flurries. The rhythm won't worry. If you fall behind, I'll be humming till you hurry. With the horn, be on the dog. Can't take a loss with the boss. And the way you talk. With the horn, be on the dog. Can't take a loss with the boss. And the way you talk.
Hello, hello, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Summit Valley semifinals between ROFS, or ROFS, as many of you all know them, and 21st. We are going to be playing on the good old map Driel, lovely British and German map. ROFS will be playing as the Axis. 21st will be playing as the Allies, or otherwise known as the British. We're going to be playing with gun emplacements as the midpoint, so it's going to be very interesting to see how both these teams approach this, because obviously this is a little bit of an off-meta map, so not quite sure what we're going to be expecting from both teams. ROFS do have a little bit of more experience on Driel than I think 21st does, because ROFS did play the Division 2 TPL final on this map, but as the Allies, unfortunately for them, losing that 3-2 to 3-5. And the winner of this game will be playing either 3-5 or first, who will be playing later on in the day today, I think around maybe 8 p.m. Eastern, if I do remember. Let me just double check that. They'll be playing at 6:30 or 7:30 Eastern, sorry, later on tonight. So it looks like we are going to get a map flip here in just a few seconds, and we'll be underway. But hopefully everyone that is watching in the chat is having a good day or a good night, especially if you are from the Aussie land or New Zealand land. But we should be getting the map flip here shortly. It is currently 5:05 a.m. for me, so I am dying right now because I went to bed at midnight. But hopefully both these teams got their good old rest and are ready to play a good old match of hella loose competitive. And we do get the map flip. Be interesting to see what the fourth points are. Looks like we have Bridgeway and Middle Road, so this is going to favor 21st a little bit.
Fucking god.
It's like ROFS is pumped. I am going to be joining Cooler. Just trying to find where he is at. And I don't see Cooler, so it looks like some players on ROFS did unfortunately crash. That is highly unfortunate for them, as you don't really want that to happen in a match. You don't want to crash, especially for like nodes and maybe if your truck driver crashed or something like that. Very important that nothing like that does happen. Hopefully we don't crash. I crashed already twice trying to load into the game, so hopefully Cooler could possibly get in here in the next few minutes. But we can just look at the map real quick. With gun emplacements, Middle Road, and Bridgeway as the three main points that will be fought over. Obviously, farm and whatever the last point is called up in the top right. Whatever those points are, we'll talk about them when that does come. But just double checking to see if the Cooler is in here, and we will be spawning in this left HQ. And I'm gonna go hide in this bush because I want to hide in a bush this match. And there we are. So gun emplacements, I say this is probably the most German favored point for them to cap. Obviously it's going to be a little bit tough with this giant or river in their way, but you know, they do have this little peninsula to kind of work off of. I think that I pronounced that right. I have no idea. It's 5 a.m. so if I pronounce it wrong, oh well. Going for a map edge Gary, I'm not quite sure why they didn't put it up here in the top in the blue sector, so they really can't get a garrison down. Hopefully they're maybe banking on it rolling a little bit into the water so they can maybe build it, but maybe a little bit of a misplay there from the Commander Pookie. We see what 21st is bringing up as we will go in with them. Looks like they're really overloading these trucks on the border. There is plenty of room, boys, in this other truck. There is plenty of seats available, all of them trying to get on top of it. I think Don says, screwed, I'm going to get into my own truck. And we are underway. Frost with a nice little line of whole bunch of vehicles. Not quite sure what we're going to have as far as other vehicles. Looks like lots of tanks are taking the main road and the bridge. The supply truck actually leading the charge for that side of things. Looks like rockets are coming in, but they unfortunately do miss. But one person I think does get run over in the truck as more rockets do fall. But a little bit late on those rockets. Does not look like either team is going to get a snipe. We are going to get into the cap here in just a few moments, as ROFS will touch the hard cap first. Whispers of Death will unfortunately get killed before he can get in the back lines. And the battle for gun emplacements has commenced. Huge already splashed right away from Cooler. First, putting a lot of emphasis on the actual hard cap circle itself. Lots of players trying to get into that hard cap. Another 4-man of SLs does spawn a little bit late. Yes, we could actually see an early medium fight. The P4 looks to take out not one but two tanks from the allies. Might not have the depression he needs. But both these tanks are actually going to drive up into the hard cap, I do believe. Yes, they are both in hard cap, so that is huge, huge, huge cap weight that they are applying. I think the P4 might be aware now. Waiting to see what this P4 actually does, because this can make or break this point. Not quite sure where the builder with an unfortunate miss of his rocket. I think he hit the turret. Does get a pen through the front. And as far as ATs go, this is probably the most even you can get as far as anti-tanks, because both teams can pen the sides of the heavies as well as the fronts of the mediums and lights. So, you know, no complaining about faction as far as AT players. Piat, probably the best rocket in the game. This midcap is still ongoing as another rocket from Illusion comes to the back of the side of Watts doing. Will take out that starting P4. Because now it's just the two little light tanks along with a few OPs for 21st on the front door of gun emplacements. Would not be surprised to see a little bit more aggression here from that P4. He is getting repaired, so it's going to come down to the ROFS AT players to see if they can maybe wipe him out. Cap still ongoing. ROFS starting to cap back themselves. Take a look at the map. They have pretty good control of their side of the 5-6 line. Trying to poke and prod their way. Maybe get a slight advantage. There's a Lux in the back line starting to possibly devastate them. Oh, he's stuck on a tree. Foxy and Gusket surviving another rocket. Hit again, and they will go down to an anti-tank player. Just trying to dive that Lux in to maybe get that first heavy up and running. Now, each team has lost a set of tanks. One medium for the allies, and one light tank. It looks like both of these light tanks, 424s, are still alive. It's a little bit of a shock that these tanks are alive. I think the ROFS Heavy? Oh, the ROFS Heavy kind of backed up a little bit to repair, I assume, but now is looking for blood as no Clouds gets a rocket in the side of the light tank. These tanks, though, 421st, really holding this cap for 21st. Without these two light tanks, I think this would be a ROFS cap by now, but ROFS still prioritizing the bridge. Don't want to make sure 21st gets around them in an easy fashion. Bouncy Boy unfortunately misses all of his shots and gets shut down by Laz. Definitely is calling an OP on his body. Bob the Builder coming in. One tank does go down. I think it's just a two-man light tank now for 21st. As Sergeant Kanye West trying to repay the favor. Unfortunately, missing his second Piat shot as Ahoy, I think, knocks down an OP. More rockets for 21st trying to get some hits onto that medium tank still. Over a 10-minute cap so far. This is what you like to see in these semifinal matchups. It's a nice little lawn mid-cap fight. And down goes the medium E4. As looks like 21st do have their first heavy tank up, kind of where you expect it on middle road, all the way in the distance. But they are going to try to bring it up to maybe help out the cap as a bombing run does come down. I'm not sure if there's an airhead. It looks like there is an airhead. Looks like they are going for the airhead masking. And 21st now actually applying a lot more pressure, I think, to the gun emplacements cap more than ROFS is. ROFS also bringing up their first heavy tank as well. Light tank still alive. Is coming down, but I'm not sure if Watts or Illusion are ready for a rocket, or Pagey with the grenade. Looks like Pagey is going to throw a grenade. And Airhead will get destroyed, so good grenade throw by Pagey. Nice shot from Illusion or Bob the Builder. Looks like ROFS are going to use their own airhead, and this time I think it's going to be a little bit more safe for them to use because 21st aren't going to have a bombing run, and it's not right on the front door of where the other team is at. So this airhead will be clean unless Jimmy over there can maybe snipe it with a rocket, but he's dealing with some infantry himself. ROFS are nearly secured onto the point. The Churchill actually trying to drive into the hard cap and does get in the hard cap, but you know, not a lot of support from any of his teammates. He's just gonna have to back up, which is the smart thing to do, as now rockets are gonna start harassing them. first cap of the game will go towards 21st, or ROFS rather. You can see Rum in the back line. Very typical, you know where the garrisons will be, and it looks like that's the frontline garrisons are actually down as Teeny kill Rum, who was trying to go on a little bit of a spree in the back lines. On board with this little recon tank. Actually not quite sure where this heavy is. But going behind the lines, a little bit of a distraction play for the Tiger crew. As I think Pookie found the recon tank. Oh no. Down goes the Axis commander Pookie. No comms looks to be making his way with the rocket, but unfortunately he is stuck in the water. Ahoy is trying to make his way over there as well. If no comms can maybe get a little bit of a tough, interesting rocket shot. Comes in just a little bit low. And the recon tank will escape with his life, and will be a little bit of a pest in the back lines for ROFS. Meantime, though, on the heart and soul of this game, it's not wheat fields that we get this match. We get a little bit of some flower fields. Some flower fields. Nice little pink flowers. But ROFS controlling the spot that they need to. You need to control this road if you are the Axis and you do have gun emplacements. This road is the heart and soul of this point. If you don't control it from either team, it's gonna be really hard for either team to win. So just keep that in mind as the game progresses, that if you know, ROFS do end up losing this presence that they currently have here, it could spell a little bit of a disaster for them. 21st could mount up something, because you can do a lot of things with this road on either side of it. Everyone's going to expect you to cross the wheat field or the flower fields. You know, we all get it. Still need to control that too, but this is, I think, more valuable than that. You do get a tad bit more cover, but, you know, crazier things have happened in the game of Hella Loose, where people just cross fields without getting punished whatsoever. Gator fan gets a kill from himself. Hopefully we get to hear some Gamma Bomb action. Bouncy boy. Trying to hold down his road. Pushes up with the SCG, gets picked off, I think, from somebody. Don't know who, but somebody. You can see the recon tank still in the back lines. Just as equally as important as that other main road is the bridge, the train tracks. And as it is in the game of Hella Loose now, we do basically play the entirety of the east, west, north, south of the map. As we do have realists taking on a whole bunch of 21st all the way on the opposite side of the map. Does go down to Sandman. But, you know, not really typical that you see in like pub matches and stuff like that, that you'll, you know, have people fighting over here. Maybe you'll have like maybe a squad or two like randomly throughout the game, just, you know, little 2-minute engagement, but that's about it. No, both those teams will be playing that far so they don't get wrapped around, because 21st could get, you know, a little interesting little garrison back here if possible, as well as back here. You typically see teams build garrisons back here. I think as far as garrison placement goes, they just wanted to maybe opt for something on the map edge and something a little bit closer. So maybe a little bit smart call there from ROFS, maybe not having an on-point garrison rather than just, you know, 2 garrisons within, you know, 50, 75 meters of the hard cap itself. We've kind of reached a little bit of a lull period as this Tiger is very concerned about his backside of this recon tank. I think there is a few players trying to hunt it back here, a few SLs, no squad leads, or ATs I should say. Like another heavy tank is coming out of this right HQ on as a recon tank as well as the medium, but down goes that pesky little recon tank. Probably got a call out from somebody, and that will be the end of his shenanigans. But you know, very distractful, very distractful. Huge spawn wave on the garrison as no comms directly impacts someone with the rocket. And he unfortunately goes down to Mage, I don't know, Midge. No comms. Goes down. Refrag by Stug with the STG. Take one more look at the map and see how both teams are doing. Looks like there's some sort of presence back by Bridgeway, so that could be a little bit of a concern as the OP actually does get burned back there. Maybe 21st trying to send some recon to maybe turn some more heads from gun emplacements, but you know, with a second heavy coming and a medium on its way on the main road or on the main bridge, now it's gonna be kind of tough to knock out ROFS off the point. You know, we've seen this, you know, when ROFS played as the British on this map, as a heavy tank actually does get penned from ROFS as it gets penned again. I do have some rep stations nearby. A ricochet does happen. Oh, but the supply box, no! Supply box is in the way. He really can't back out of it. The 21st does also have some barricades, maybe for MGs or just maybe a little bit extra tank armor. But it looks like he is getting repaired. I think he's getting repaired, is he? There's no rep stations over here? No, okay, I guess not. Looks like creature will back up to a little bit more safety. But that could have been really disastrous. A little bit of a misplay there from 21st if he ended up dying because of a supply box behind him. If you are unaware, ladies and gentlemen, supply boxes out of trucks will collide, and you cannot move past them as the rep station does get knocked out. Medium tank, a little bit understanding now of his situation, that he is not as protected as he might think. Oh, and 2 players do die off that AP round. I think that might have hit tracks of this medium. Small readjustment from ROFS might be able to take it out. I think he might just have enough cover. I don't know what's going on here with all these vehicles. That's a supply truck. Just driving through whiskey. It's like Fro is gonna build some more rep stations for his boys. AT guns now being built from 21st. We look back, looks like 21st are actually starting to get pushed back towards the middle road hardpoint itself now. They're starting to win these little micro battles. And when people really mean micro battles, it's kind of like 3-man squad versus like 3-4-man squads. It's basically what you mean by those micro battles, like winning on your squad on squad engagements. If you win those, you will win the game for the most part. And if you're, you know, if you're still trading with each other, it's going to be, it's very hard to gain that ground. But the importance of moving up, taking those power positions, utilizing smokes, it all matters in that little micro. E-strike does come down. And it will kill the Churchill, I think. Yes, it does. Unfortunately for 21st, will kill it, as well as an AT gun. It's blown up as well, so just the medium. I assume 21st probably do have another heavy tank on their way, as I think ROFS, yes, they are bringing up a 3rd heavy tank. They have, I think, just 2 heavy tanks now. Actually, just 2. It looks like they did end up losing one of the Tigers to something. I'm not quite sure where that one went goodbye. It looks like right here. I'm not sure what exactly killed them. Maybe the AT guns? Totally missed that one. I apologize for that. But see if Starbucks and Thief can maybe win this engagement for either player. Thief does win that battle. A little bit of a huge kill there, because he does have his OP, and if he probably would have died, OP would have been burnt. So good on Thief for, you know, still staying alive. Hopefully my filters, making sure my filters aren't weird. Okay, good. They're not. Looks like this medium tank's still taking rounds, as he now has 3 rep stations. But unfortunately for him, it's not enough, and he will get destroyed from the Tiger tank as all 3 rep stations blow up. That's kind of gotta suck if you're 21st building up all those rep stations just for them to maybe it was just 2. I think it was just 2 rep stations, but still, like, really does suck. I would, you know, kind of want them to place them in this, I don't really know what to call it, this giant trench where the supply truck is at. I'd prefer to have them, you know, put them there, just because they are protected a little bit from arty. The tanks really can't get a good shell onto them. It's gonna basically just be arty, and yeah, but fortunate for 21st is they have no armor on the field that I currently see. And they do have 4 tanks, one of them being a solo light tank, solo Luke's. ROFS starting to move up the armor a tad bit, As it looks like something else blows up, maybe another AT gun rep station. Yeah, looks like another AT gun does get destroyed as well. And it looks like they do have another Churchill with silver as the TC. But him and his crew are going to be put in a little bit of a crossfire with both of the heavies, as well as a little bit of presence of AT guns from ROFS. Starbucks going in. Fortunately, will get shut down from the back. Bro is trying to protect his garrison with his life. Gets one. The P-strike is coming down. And I think it actually does destroy this other Tiger tank. Yes, it does. Tiger tank does get destroyed from the P-strike. So both commanders from each team with their first P-strike being a very, very good success. Both commanders hitting their first P-strikes of the match. Looks like Rum is taking over commander now. I'm not sure what happened to Pookie. Maybe his game froze or crashed, or maybe he lost internet, or maybe he just doesn't feel like playing commander anymore. Maybe he does not want to play commander anymore, but I think we still have... Well, I went to go check how many players we have. Like, forgot you can't, but oh well. Tiger does take one round. Misses the trade. And down goes the Tiger tank. Silver with a huge kill. Looks like Kanye West is over there on the AT gun. Now 21st flips the armor advantage back into their favor with that P-strike, and now a second Tiger getting killed by a heavy tank going down within a span of like 2 to 3 minutes. Now 21st starting to flip this game a little bit more back into their favor. They still have lots to go to gun emplacements. They are starting to push up this garrison on the front door, but A squad duty making some good progress. He is kind of surrounded, so I don't really see this lasting too much. With just duty's presence here alone, as a tanker, when you know that you see some spawn points around your tank light up, or you see players dying, it kind of like makes you worried. It makes you a little bit anxious as a TC, and that's when you either get satcheled or a tank somehow gets a surprise side shot onto you or something like that. But bomb run did come down from 21st. Not sure if they did launch an airhead. It looks like they probably did, as there is smoke party here. Really don't see the airhead. I think it probably got blown up by a grenade. There was an airhead. The spawn should happen in about 10-15 seconds based on this arty and smoke arty. Yeah, looks like it did go to another place, a better place. That is the second airhead of the game used by 21st. Obviously, we cannot see their resources, but spending 800 manpower with 2 airheads, both being, unsuccessful. Not saying that they were waste, but they're just unsuccessful. It does set you back a little bit. that does continue over there. We'll flip our attention maybe towards the western side of the map, where McPaper just gets one of many kills, I assume, into an SL. And this is where, if you're 21st, you kind of maybe gotta start thinking about pushing off of this garrison in G7. It's like, yes, you do have good presence in H7, as you can see the flare there, but, you know, you're gonna have to maybe shift some bodies, maybe even shift the tank crew towards this train tracks, just to make sure you don't get crossfire, because that's where duty is starting to slip in a little bit. You know, each time he's getting a little bit further in, you know, seeing where the weak points are for 21st. If he puts down his OP and gets a bunch of people spawn on it, it could be disastrous for the tankers, as well as maybe some on-point spawn points and players as well. So it looks like Bob the Builder. Nice little AT gun spot. Not sure what he is seeing. Can you even nah, he got off of it, never mind. Maybe see what the AT gun guy sees, but I don't think you can. Looks like 21st is trying to counter this hold that ROFS does have on the train tracks. Sending a, I would say a decent amount of people from the west side of the map towards the tracks, but gonna have to deal with Assy Larkin and that MG. It's a nice little view. Not gonna go in first person mode because it is very, very buggy. But nice little view. Be hard to knock him out of there, but he is starting to get a little bit of pressure. As Teeny is back here as well. Very interested to see if lots of ROFs actually on the bridge itself. I honestly, I don't know why there's this many ROFs on this side of the bridge. Looks like there is, you know, some backline shenanigans from 21st. I assume they did get something all the way back here. There has to be a garrison back here somewhere from them. I assume there has to be something back here. Oh, there it is. Yep, garrison all the way back here, as well as an OP. ROFS could easily just spawn this garrison and kind of go where you typically push. But 21st does have that going for them. The only issue is lots of ROFs are on the bridge. Honestly, there's more people, I think, out of sector than in sector for ROFs, which is maybe a little bit counterintuitive to what a lot of other teams say and do. But, you know, as long as it's not quite discovered, it's probably a-okay to do that. But I think they are starting to get discovered as a Butcher is starting to make his way towards that garrison. As no comms, I think, might have just got the garrison. Nope, he did not get the garrison with that rocket. Artie, though, does splash down. No comms running up. Barrett will knock him down. But the grenade that he had actually just killed him, so... And this... Oh, looks like we did lose something back here. Was it a heavy tank? It actually was another heavy tank. Another Tiger down for ROF, so... ROF starting to get a little bit thin now on the armor economy. As they currently don't have a heavy tank, they can spawn in another one. Medium is also on the board. Light tank is being utilized in the left HQ as maybe the recon tank as well. But 21st actually doing a very, very good job of making sure ROFS does not get any sort of, you know, armor advantage. They are building some key AT guns. They are, keeping their tanks alive. So they do have the medium backing up the Churchill. The issue for 21st now is, can they win their infantry engagements? That is the big question of the day, with just about 52 minutes left into the match. If 21st can maybe start swinging these infantry engagements into their favor, they could probably make some good progress towards gun emplacements on the front door. The issue is, I think they're utilizing a lot of other bodies elsewhere, especially like this whole other side of the map, but there is actually, I think, a tank back here. Yeah, light tank in the back lines. No ATs in sight. Unfortunately for this light tank, did not take out the garrison. Actually, this light tank probably could have taken out the Tiger as well, but maybe he is being redirected to do so. As he's just driving circles. Oh, does he see the garrison? Yes, he does see the garrison. Garrison is down. Oh, no! Tries to place down the AT mine, but unfortunately kills himself in the process, as no comms with a rocket. Gets one rocket into the side of the light tank. And this light tank providing immense value right now, taking out garrison and somehow still being alive, being a nuisance. Forcing 21st bodies to push up a little bit more. Whispered up the shot. Will unfortunately miss his rocket. This light tank is only going to live for so much longer as multiple ATs are coming in. Whispers of Death unfortunately missing the second rocket, so I gotta practice your rockets, buddies. I just took a quote out of Smithers by saying buddies, but you know, I watch his streams more than I stream. Ocom's trying to line up a second shot. And this time it will be a good one, taking out that light tank, but you know, damage has already been done. Airhead is coming down for 21st again. Another Airhead. Starbucks and Digital Venom are on it. This might have been a misclick, I want to say, for 21st, because Smoke Party is also coming down, but the Airhead is gone. Kind of why you want to, you know, have your Smoke Party hit down first and then launch the Airhead, or make sure you're coordinating with your arty player to do that. But another Airhead for 21st, again in the pretty much the exact same spot as we've been seeing them from them. Again, unsuccessful, and 48 minutes ago, I assume the manpower for 21st is pretty much non-existent right now. Wasting, oh, what is it? 1,200 manpower on Airheads? I think it's 400. I don't remember. It's 5:45 in the morning. No, Com's trying to get that rocket again. Ah, Midge. Pearson's still standing. I don't know if they're gonna get another spawn wave. They do get a spawn wave, but the rocket this time from no comms will be successful. And as the map edge Gary yet again wiped out. But we can see now 21st starting to get some, you know, better contests by the bridge. There's something firing back here. Don't know what exactly it is, but nothing is shooting. Colonel Turkey. Combat Wombat. Oh, Combat Wombat missing the shots. Bull Turkey's starting to sneak into the back lines a little bit. We'll join him in just a few moments if he is still up and running. He could be huge for the 21st if he could get down his OP and get a bunch of guys to spawn onto it, but I think his presence might be known. I don't know where I'm going. Illusion hiding in a bush, but you know, this map is all bush, so kinda don't blame him for this. The assault player will take him down. Sledgehammer though. Pushing up, does burn DOP. Will get the kill with the car. Trying to kill Ace now. Everyone missing their shots. And Ace says, screw it, I'm gonna bring out the Piat. Oh, gotta love that, dude. Gotta love that. Alright, let's take a look at the map for ROFS real quick. Nice little shell of garrisons and everything else around the point, so that's good to go for them. Looks like they do have a far, you know, western Gary that K and S and looks like C squads are currently utilizing. Gonna try to pester 21st's backlines now. It looks like 21st, you know, for the first half of the game, did do a good job of making sure they don't get wrapped around from ROFS, but, you know, that can only last for so long as the midpoint actually does get contested. And it looks like Turkey, like I said before, gets his OP up, and with just, you know, 4 bodies on the point, they are starting to contest it. They get into hard cap, they will start, indeed, flipping the cap a little bit, but no, it shouldn't be anything to worry about. Shouldn't be anything for them to stress about if you are ROFS. But, you know, 6 bodies will call back for a reset. I just think they have way too many people at Bridgeway. You know, just let maybe a few guys on your team deal with that. Not, you know, I would say, what is that? 3 guys, 4 guys, 4 guys. You just really need 2 for the most part, maybe 3. Now send that extra body now towards gun emplacement, as 21st are starting to get in some cozy positions on the hard cap. I assume there's going to be a reset here for ROFS, as I think Tank and Heels is calling out the chevrons, but like I said, holding that main road, that's where the that's where 21st made their push from. I mean, they didn't really push off of there, they just, I think Turkey just placed his OP there, but nonetheless, it happened. Barrett and Laz trying to hide as best as they can. T-shirt does get knocked down by Laz, but Laz will refrag his Barrett. Still surviving as Realist and Tankin have no idea where the Barrett is at. I think Tankin sees his legs, and he'll get gunned down by Tankin. Down he goes. But this is providing a little bit of a pathway for 21st now, as they're still starting to leak some bodies in. Defensive squads for ROFS are going to have to hunt down these OPs, but you look in the back lines, M squad now basically doing what Turkey's doing. In that OP in the red zone, kind of behind their eyes. They do have to deal with some tanks still on point, and that's, I think this is going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with these tanks than it is on the mid cap. as far as each team's situations go, just because there's a lot more open ground for the tank to utilize. But unfortunately, no comps missing his rocket. OP is still up for M squad. Well, looks like 21st did scare ROFS a little bit. They did take out a garrison. Recon teams, Striker and Sandman are coming to support, but pretty much looks like the 21st shenanigans around gun emplacements are pretty seized for the time being. Just Laz and Haza just lurking in the bushes. Something. Yeah, with under 41 minutes to go, if you're just joining me, this is the Summit tournament. It is a console tournament with all console teams. We have ROFS that capped first and have been holding it ever since then. After about a 10, 11, 12 minute cap, mid cap to start off the match. So nice little long little fight. Both teams had their opportunities to cap that midpoint, but ROFS will get that first cap, and they've been holding it ever since. But 21st starting to make a little bit more ground. This is the most ground that they have, had since honestly losing. I would say losing kind of like this first little, like the bottom part of G6, H6. The most ground that they've kind of gained naturally with Laz and Raven and Ace kind of leading the charge, but. As is still around the point. I think he's not lining up any OPs, but he is starting to make his. Never mind, he immediately died. Gotta love caster cursing, everybody. Gotta love caster cursing, but as soon as he moves out of his bush, he will get shut down. That's making his way. I'm not sure if he has satchel or if he has a AT gun. It looks like 21st are gonna send the medium tank. Does seem to be a little bit damaged. ROFS are bringing up a heavy tank. Their only heavy tank that they do currently have. Down goes an AT gun. Looks like T-shirt is en route to deal with this medium tank. As something gets hit from, I think, another AT gun. Yes, Greasy Beefcake, and it looks like Chris on the AT gun. Looks like 21st are actually making a decent push. Down goes, I think, the recon tank, or maybe a truck or something like that. Looks like I said Spoon. Ahoy does get a rocket to the side of the medium. Heavy tank is starting to try to support this medium. There's honestly just not a lot of infantry around these tanks to help support. There's honestly a handful of guys as a bomber run is coming down from ROFS onto these tanks. Illusion will probably get caught in the crossfire. Unfortunately, he does not, as the bomber run will go over the heavy tank. Taking out the tracks, but it is just these tanks just left to pretty much die. No immediate threat. But if you are these tanks, you're gonna have to back out of here. They are somehow capping the point, though. I'm not sure from what. I think it's just legit. There's just more of them in these tanks than there is ROFs in the sector. That is a little bit shocking, as opposed to having 3 tanks on your front doorstep. But they are calling some bodies back. Is Bounty Boy gonna try to get a satchel onto this medium tank, but the light tank protecting them. Each tank protecting each other. Whispers of death. In a rocket, see if he can get a second one. Yes, he does. Takes himself out in the process, but worthy sacrifice indeed, as now the light tank is taking some heat from, not sure quite what exactly. Finally, 21st backup is somewhat here for these tanks. But a whole bunch of ROFs are in pursuit. Looking to be a little bit of a good push there from 21st, bringing up 3 tanks, 1 of each size and strength. But unfortunately for them, they just didn't have the infantry manpower that I think that they needed. As No Comms does take out Ace. Oh, but again, this light tank just protecting the heavy. That's Plug and Play, I think, is trying to get back to his heavy tank, but is having a really rough time. Looks like this heavy tank is going to get out of here. I'm not sure where this heavy Tiger tank is. Looks like they do have a second Tiger tank on its way as well. Looks like nothing in the back lines for ROFs anymore. This light tank is providing just so much value. I'm just very surprised from Ross they're not launching just any sort of rockets. Yes, they finally do launch some rockets from Ahoy. I think that's all they needed to do, just to take out this tank on their doorstep. Just launch some rockets at it. Even if you get some non-pens, at least you're just, you know, trying to kill it from distance as opposed to try to satchel it. Satcheling has not been working as of late. As Thing Illusion misses his second rocket, another non-pen ricochet. But this is a little bit of a trap card, I think, from 21st that they're playing with their hands. It's like, yes, they need to support these tanks, and they have to, as they do bring up, it looks like, a recon tank now. But, you know, if ROFS gets something back here in the H8 sector, it could really flip what's been going on here very much into ROFS's favor. Looks like they're bringing up a lot of infantry to support these tanks finally. Will it be enough is the question. It looks like Ron does build a rep station for his fellow allied players. Looks like this rep station will get those reps in. And that tank will be a-okay. Down goes that rep station though, so fortunately for them, rep station will no longer hear the tank. Just checking to see if what's going on in the back lines. Looks like just recon. 21st still have this garrison all the way over here. Yes, they do. They still do. Kind of shocked by that. That 21st still had that garrison over there. Looks like bridge garrison is going down from Tinny, but it looks like it does get cleared up. Looks like he was honestly just under the bridge and locking it out there. But yeah, it looks like what died here? Oh, recon tank. Nice little rocket there from, I assume that was illusion. Not only does it get some pens into the tracks, but it does kill some players in the process. A real grind of a point for both of these teams between Middle World and Gun Plays. It's as you kind of do expect it to be. Looks like Snorlaxi trying to get something going in the back. Ross don't really have anything else back here. I was maybe looking for another player in the bottom right hand corner of the map, but it does not look like they do have anybody. Raven Skate, health kilo, per kilo. All right, they'll just run past each other. I think Alpha, yep, we'll get the kill. AG with another kill himself. AG nothing kilo. Working really good in tandem with each other, both SLs. Trying to make sure that they hold this Achilles heel and make sure nothing is gained from 21st, as AG will wipe out another spawn point. Pagey just going on a rampage now. Gets 2 more for his name. He's got Froze and Gator Fan in his way as well. Is taking some shots from DJ, but will unfortunately go down for himself. But heck of a life there from Pagey. As looks like ROFS are just absolutely pounding this heavy tank with so much AT. Oh my god. There was 4 AT guns for that heavy tank, as well as a heavy tank on the bridge or on the tracks, dude. Oh my god. That's what you like to see out of your team if you are ROFS, and just any team in general. Just 4 AT guns just fired upon one tank. Unfortunately for that tank, did put himself in a little bit of a crossfire for that, but you know, it was a push position that he just maybe could not back out of, or just didn't maybe feel too uncomfortable to back out of. But ROFS did make him pay for being in that position. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tired, but looks like this other heavy tank is getting hit from something from behind. Did they just build an AT guy from... I can't say, but like, Realist and Rum, AT gun from the backline. Taking out a second heavy within a minute. Oh, dude, that's gotta suck if you're 21st. The one thing that 21st are doing good right now is they are taking out these backup garrisons, or making the commander and other people work. Not making sure that they sit pretty and just watch everything, just watch movement as, oh man, guys in the AT gun from behind. just taking out all these defenses, all the armor. And with less than a half hour to go, still a lot of time left in this match for 21st to mount something back up. I think they are going to be probably waiting in the last, 20 minutes to probably start making their play. But, they're pretty much boxed into middle road at this point. It looks like a little bit more bodies from ROFS are starting to leak in towards the middle road sector, starting to contest it a little bit. Not starting to cap it, but just contest it. I just still can't believe they have an AT gun behind them. That is insane. That is insane. How does Spoon... Alright, I was about to say. And also, if you are just joining me now, this is a match between ROFS and 21st in the Valley bracket of Summit. Going on right now as well is the 6th in tackle match in the semifinals of the Summit portion of Summit. That is being casted by Smithers. I unfortunately do not have his channel description in my description, or channel info in my description, just because I put this together way too late. I've been too busy, but it is what it is. But if you want to watch that match as well, just look up Smithers Cast on YouTube. You should find him still being live right now. If you're watching this back, you're late. The stream's ended. But Bouncy Boy pushing up with the STG, gets 2 for his name. Got as Steve right in front of him in the bush, crawling. And will punish him for not checking the tall grass. But there is smoke already coming down. Airhead is coming down as well. I'm not sure if ROFS is aware of this. A lot of their backline is gone. It looks like they do have a Tiger tank on its way with JJ, Goofball, and I think Shifty? But this does seem like the best Airhead that they do currently have, as a bunch of ROFs are starting to come back now to hard cap. Airhead is going to land probably at the 15 second mark. Yes, 15-second mark. Bottom run is also coming down as well. It's just Sandman and Striker, but Sandman, I think, either just redeployed or just died. Not quite sure if the Airhead is still available or not. Yes, it is. I think Starbucks just threw a grenade onto it. Yes, Airhead is down. Probably their best attempt yet, but unfortunately for them, it will be unsuccessful, as Ross will pretty much do a slight reset back, making sure that they don't lose, because if you do lose this match, you are eliminated from the tournament and you are going home. Winner of this match will play 3-5 in first. So that is being made later on today, about 12 hours from now. Freaking tank drives past the garrison. Trying to kill no comms, but will face the rocket of Whispers of Death. Haven't really focused a lot on this bridge sector. I do apologize for that in this stream, but you know, just as important, Hyper, Jimmy's rack, Big Poppy. Hyper's paying attention. Jimmy has a Fiat, but Hyper will shut him down. Hyper a little bit lost in the sauce. Oh, I think he hit him, but he does get the follow-up shot. Hyper does get another kill. Going down the bridge does burn an OP as well. Shot rock. Oh, doesn't check the spawn though, but does get the frag onto Jimmy. Hyper. A little bit of a quick 4 kills. We'll make sure his boys still hold that bridge as he does, I think, see a half track now. Oh, this is awful if you are the commander. Bring up the half track and you run into the one player that can kill you right away. 80 of Hyper, so heck of a life there from Hyper so far as he continues to hunt down Ferret and other players from 21st, but just a little bit unfortunate timing there if you are 21st, bringing up that half track, trying to get something going for your team, just something going, as they are starting to have a huge presence in the backline. Actually, this is not the midpoint. Why is there so many 21st back here? I'd love it. This is obviously something different that ROFS is going to have to respond to, as there is a tire tank back here. It looks like who's over here? Is there a tank over here? I think it's just a heavy tank. Looks like there is a recon tank or a light tank in the back lines. 21st putting up a almost, this is turning into a pub lobby, folks. Looks like that just damaged the Tiger a bit, but with this distraction play, Thief and some others are starting to leak into the point. Oh, or stick drift. You know, there lots of ROFs are being focused back onto the bridge, but you know, gun emplacements. You know, just one player just leaking into the hard point. As it looks like they are bringing up a Tiger to help defend this. So with, you know, less than 20 to go, ROFs are still looking like they will come out on top of this, but 21st are trying to fight back, trying to find something that they can expose from ROFs and, you know, hit them with kind of a Hail Mary play. What's doing is trying to get some rocket snipes in. Ramen Alpha starting to pick some people off. I think they know where our garrison is at, but Airhead is called in at Middle Road. You do see in the top left of your screen. Oh, it's a silent plane too, so I'm not sure if 21st are going to be aware of it. Also, not sure where it's going to land, but it looks like Thief might be on the case already. Where is it going to land? Oh, looks like it's going to land somewhere. Yep, it's going to land right here. looks like Webb and some others are aware of the Airhead landing. Oh, nice little lag spike there. Bomb run is called in, but unfortunately a little bit too late. A little bit too late indeed. For a little bit of a fun facts for everybody, that if you have the Airhead, you can actually put it on top of these like hedges. They do hold enough room for an Airhead, so if you're ever playing Driel again, you can maybe try that out and see if it works out for you. The Butcher hip firing his MG at Turkey. Gets the kill. Butcher just hearing people in the bushes. Yet from Cosmo comes in. Well, we'll get shut down from Butcher. Making sure that people don't mess with his bush. Shot rock. We'll get the refrag onto Butcher finally. '21st are starting to get pushed back in the back lines now. But look at Laz. Look at Laz. I don't know if Spoon knows. Ah, Spoon does go down, but I think he does place.
Just to your left-hand side, mate.
He does place an AT mine somewhere. I'm not gonna find it. It's in the wheat, but I'm not gonna find it. I think he placed an AT mine. I don't think he placed the satchel. If he did, I just don't see the sparks, but valid attempt there. Valid attempt. 21st actually just kind of give up the map edge a little bit. Nocom's just kind of running pretty much free in the back lines. Wipes out an OP as well, so this is going to open up the door for ROFS to actually do something. Gonna run into Larry. Larry with a pretty big kill. ROFS starting to cap back onto middle road. This is, if you're 21st, you really don't want to be in this position, being, you know, capped with under 15 minutes ago. It really is a thorn in your side, as they actually get a huge spawn wave in the back lines. I'm not sure what they what is back here. Is this a half track back here? What is back here? Is it Garrison back here? Like, where did they all spawn from? Not quite sure. Maybe it's just an OP that Thief has somewhere, but seeing that many bodies, I would assume it would have been a half track. But another Airhead is coming down. This will be the pretty much the last useful Airhead for 21st. They technically can call one more in, but it is mathematically almost not worth it. Puppy Xmas on the Airhead does get killed. Jimmy unfortunately does get knocked down by Spoon. And Spoon, oh, if that was regular Artie, oh, if that was regular Artie. Strafing run coming in a tad bit late as well. ROFS do have a front door presence now at Middle Road, but some players from 21st actually starting to get into the hard cap. They are spawning from back here. It looks like, yes, it is a singular OP that is in the back lines. But unfortunately for them, they have a Tiger that they have to deal with. But honestly, I've never seen these tracers like this go across water. Looks kind of cool. Oh my gosh, the tank is flipping. OP gets burned. Oh, with the 2 Piats though. This heavy tank is going to go down from Cosmo, and Cosmo will get the kill onto the Tiger tank. Well done from him. But at the same time, 21st probably cannot call in the all-in, as their own defensive point at Middle Road is starting to get harassed and bombarded by AT sappers and all these other players as well, from Duty and Snorlax, and now Starbucks starting to get into the fray. Not sure what 21st's Gearson's situation is, but they're going to have to kind of reset on the point. It is just looks like the heavy tank. Huge spawn wave does happen. And it's like, oh man. Huge arty splash from Cooler. And ROFS are starting to steamroll their way back into the middle road point. Harrison is still up. I think Sledgehammer is very scared about just dying to an arty round. If this does hold, 21st will get one more additional spawn wave in. I think they're waiting for someone with a rocket to take out the Garrison. Or maybe the Tiger? Hello, ROFS. The Garrison's still up. And OP spawn wave comes in. But Artie's going to clean up most of the kills. And this will be ROFS going up 4-1 here in the Valley semi-final. A little bit of a heartbreak because they did have a really good thing going at gun emplacements, but unfortunately for them, just raw on timing, I would say, and really good timing for ROFS. Let's see how ROFS does get these Garys up. They immediately get 2 up, both on the map edge, kind of where you want them. F8 is going to be the key sector for both these teams, but with 9 minutes to go, it's going to be very hard for 21st to get something established, like armor and infantry wise, because you have to now cap 2 points in the next, I would say, what, 5 minutes? Or not even 5 minutes. You have to start cap progress like within the next 4 if you do want a chance to win the game. It looks like this Tiger tank, I think, just took care of this front door Garrison. The P-Strike is coming down, I assume, onto this Tiger tank. And actually somehow will kill this Tiger tank. I have no idea how he killed this Tiger tank. One of the P-Strike rounds actually hit the barn, and one, like, pretty much hit where Lipton died. But good use of the P-Strike again from the Allied commander. 7 minutes do roughly remain in this one. I think that is going to be the last heavy tank that will probably be useful for 21st, as ROFS are very, very set up now at middle road and at gun emplacements. They are looking very, very good as they do bring out their, I assume, last heavy tank as well. But, you know, what a game so far that we have had, folks. What a game. You know, just a little bit of a heartbreak, I think, for 21st so far, or throughout this match, like the Airheads. I think they banked a lot on those Airheads possibly working, but, you know, ROFS are paying attention and did not come out, as it's like something blew up here. Don't know exactly what. Looks to be a supply truck or transport of some sort. But realistically, ROFS will probably not push for the 5-0, especially with 6 minutes left in a single elimination bracket, as 3 players just get cut down from Stopzilla. Holy. DJ trying to do the best he can, trying to gain up some ground. As he does get absolutely clapped by Pagey and Panzer and a Tiger tank. Or maybe it was Illusion on the AT gun. I think it was Illusion on the AT gun, but pretty much a minute and 30 to go in this one, as a light tank is getting hit by Illusion. 21st just not in position to really gain this cap. So with now roughly a minute to go in this one, it's looking to be ROFS will be moving on to the Valley final. Because, yeah, just not a lot of ground for 21st to make in the time that they need to make, and also cap, you know, gun emplacements, which, you know, they've had a little success getting to the point, just could not seal the deal quite yet. As this last heavy tank is going to probably try to dive into the point, but it is getting hit from the back from Whistler's death, but he will go down as well from last. As 5th and final point actually getting contested from, looks to be just a 3-man Puma. Oh no. What is going on? But ROFS will be your winners in this one, as we watch whatever the hell is happening right now. We now have a tracked Puma. I think this Puma, it will somehow not die. Don't know what's happening, dude. But it looks like I think this medium tank will get one final shot, as yes, he will. But that is going to be the game, ladies and gentlemen. Congrats to ROFS to be moving on to the finals of Valley. 21st, well played, you sirs. Should hold your heads high. That was an incredible match. Just I think a little bit unfortunate with some of those Airheads, but you know, you guys played very, very well. But ROFS will be moving on as these players try to get their last second stat pads in, as a bombing run Airhead combination for 5th and final point will commence, to see if ROFS will try to get this 5-0, but Ace is gonna have no part of that whatsoever. He is going to get on this Airhead and dismantle it with his 2 hands. Even brought that medium tank in to help out with that as well, but yeah, airplane. thought this tank was inside the barn. I'm like, how the fuck did they fit that in there? ROFS actually starting the cap race on to 5th and final point. ROFS trying to go for the kill shot, trying to win this one 5-0. Been back-to-back weeks here in Summit. I don't know if 21st is going to try to defend this point to make sure they lose 4-1 and not 5-0. It looks like they are going to defend, and I think with this little bit of a defense, it will end in a 4-1 victory for the players from Australia and New Zealand, ROFS. I think they're mostly Australian and New Zealand. I have no idea, but you know, they're Oceania. They're over there. They're down there. They're in the future, but yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it for this one. Just gonna wrap up, but yeah, thank you all for watching, and GG's again to both these teams, and congrats to ROFS for moving on to the Valley Final. Their opponents in the Valley Final will either be first or 3-5, 2 NA teams. That'll be played later on tonight. I think at 7:30 Eastern, I think is when match start is supposed to be, so about 8 p.m. is when the stream will start. I unfortunately will not be casting that match, as I assume it will be a really good match. I'll be casting Legion and Merc later on today in the Summit part of the bracket. But 35 seconds. The last few players get their last few kills. This is going to be a GG's yet again as a P-Strike comes down. Kills a few trees, bushes, and some blades of grass, but other than that, it's gonna do it for this one, folks. Your winners again will be ROFS. Again, congratulations to them, and good luck to you guys in the final. It's gonna do it for me. Like I said, I'll be streaming on later in today, casting the Legion and Merc game. I think there's another game going on right now. Yes, sixth and Taco I think should also be wrapping up around this time. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.